Alright, so I wanted to make a quick run through of how I did my battery delete. There's a bunch of different options for battery delete, but the way I did mine for this Yukon, the factory location, it's pretty gross here, but I mounted a fuse holder in this place instead of the battery, mainly because I didn't want to buy a battery and I had a bank in the back. So the power wires are coming from here to this fuse bank. This is the factory positive that went to the battery. The negative is this wire going to the chassis, or actually it's going to the engine block, and then from there I have a ground that goes down to the chassis. And you see this ground, focus in, this ground here, and the one that I have directly to the case on the alternator, they both go back to the battery bank in the rear of the vehicle. So your positives and the negatives are going back there. Let me walk around to okay, so those positives, the negatives are here on my distribution block. Everything else here, this one and all of these independently run to batteries inside this bank. They're inside this enclosure. Same setup over here on this side. This is the positive wire, and so is this one coming from the alternator up front. My original setup, I had two alternators, and I've taken one of them out. I'm planning to put it in another vehicle I have. All 5 of these are going to the battery bank. So the battery bank's fused independently per battery. It's also fused in the front. So personal recommendation, if you're going to run anything coming from the front section to the back, make sure it's fused. If there's batteries on this end, make sure it's fused coming from those as well. That way you don't have to worry about it shorting in between and you having one of the batteries from one side or the other. If you're still running a factory battery, or the alternator itself can feed, you can short out and there's a chance of burning your vehicle down. So you want to make sure that you fuse it and have it that any direction the current can come from is going to be protected by fusing. But that's just a quick run through on my battery delete. Hopefully that helped give somebody some ideas if they're planning to do one for a lithium bank, or just to run a set of AGMs and they don't want to use the factory battery anymore.